Greetings. Just for a face to see. I'm Norman D. Snowden, retired civil engineer and developer of several Mykinda software programs. The subject video is one of the features of Mykinda Traverse. This video includes speed check, which is an estimate of the effects of different speeds of automobiles on interstate highways. Even though cars are streamlined, they certainly have a resistive force against the wind. As an example, imagine trying to hold a sheet of plywood broadside against a 60-mile-per-hour wind. The effect of gasoline consumption versus speed and other factors are considered. The easiest solution of a triangle when only the lengths of the three sides are known is included. This was omitted from the previous video called Mykinda Traverse Tracks. The north-south orientation of the triangle can be shown on a screen printout. A push button called Notes is provided, which loads a word processor. It allows such selections as bold print, underlining, different script, and so on. For a record of importance, a full-length description of the contents can be saved. My email address is duluth@msn.com. After viewing this video, if you have further interest in Mykinda Traverse, send me an email. Subject: Mykinda Traverse. Thanks, Norman. We click on the little icon. It brings up the first frame. We have to abide by the rules of the program. Yes, we do. We're user number 1. We could have 6 users. It brings up the main screen. Let's expand this a little bit. On this push button or label, if we double click this, it brings up a form, which is, I'll try to describe. Let me get my glasses on. Almost anyone will quickly say that it requires 45 seconds to travel 1 mile at 90 miles per hour, that is, 45 being halfway between 30 and 60. Not true. 40 seconds is correct. One could probably win a bet. It is obvious from the graph that 60 miles per hour is the most efficient speed possible for automobiles. At 60 miles per hour, the slope gradient is changing faster than at any other point on the graph. Above 60 miles per hour, a 100% increase in speed only saves 50% of the time. Energy requirements cost increase exponentially. Below 60 miles per hour, a 50% reduction in speed results in a 100% increase in required travel time. 240 miles per hour is 15 seconds to go a mile. 120 miles per hour, 30 seconds. 60 miles per hour, 60 seconds. At 90 miles per hour, to go a mile is 40 seconds. 60 miles per hour, that's God's gift to energy. 30 miles per hour takes 120 seconds to go a mile. 15 seconds at 240. At 15 miles per hour, 240 seconds. And so on. This has a feature that we'll explore. If we can, our automobile gets 24 miles per gallon. 24. And we pay $2 a gallon. We calculate this, and we get the result. At 75 miles per hour, you're only getting approximately 18 miles per gallon. not 24 miles per gallon. At 75 miles per hour, you are paying at the approximate rate of $2.60 per gallon, not $2 per gallon. The above speeds are normal highway driving speeds. At extreme speeds, 80 miles per hour and even higher, the increased energy costs become huge. As we found out, you're only getting 18.48 miles per gallon, and you're actually paying $2.60 per gallon. Now let's go into a discussion of this speed. The subject is optimum automobile speeds on interstate type highways. Speed check shows information that is normally not pictured in a way that can be easily understood. It shows that at a speed of 60 miles per hour is near the optimum speed for automobiles. The graph shows that at 60 miles per hour, an increase in speed of 10 miles per hour results in a 14.67% reduction in time, but with a simultaneous approximate 14% increase in energy cost. Similarly, a 10 mile per hour reduction in speed results in a 14.67 loss of time and with about a 14% decrease in energy cost. This is a fair trade-off between speed and cost. In other words, you get a reasonable return value for a change in speed. However, a change of speed substantially higher than 60 miles per hour or less than the 60 mile per hour range is not a fair trade-off. For higher speeds, the ratio of time to speed becomes smaller and smaller, approaching zero. Conversely, at decreasingly lower speeds, the ratio of time to speed becomes larger and larger, approaching infinity. Not to be misleading, the mathematical details in the graph showing the results of doubling speeds can also show that 70 miles per hour or even 50 miles per hour could be considered the optimum speed for automobiles. Although 70 miles per hour requires 14.67% less time to travel a mile than at 60 miles per hour, the cost of energy is greater than it is for 60 miles per hour. Further, a driver has 14.67% less time to respond to an emergency at 102.7 feet per second for 70 miles per hour than at 88 feet per second for 60 miles per hour. The other factor involves collisions. Excuse me. A 70 mile per hour speed has a disproportionately greater collision impact than one at 60 miles per hour. An optimum speed of 50 miles per hour is not acceptable because of the extreme chance of rear-end collisions. It is recognized that the majority of people drive at a speed of 70 miles per hour or greater and do not want to be impeded by a vehicle moving at 60 miles per hour. This is not a problem for the normal driver except for high flow volumes, as the lag driver will move to the passing lane. This enables and keeps an unimpeded road ahead for the 60 mile per hour driver. It appears only if increased fuel cost is not a factor, time is of essence, and safety factors are not considered significant, would speeds above 60 miles per hour be warranted. A 10-mile trip at 70 miles per hour would save 1 minute and 27 seconds over 60 miles per hour. You may not agree with this, but it's pretty interesting to me. We'll go home. Now let's do the triangle. Let's just add a record. We'll give it a name. We'll call it triangle. And let's click on Special triangle. Click yes if you wish to solve a triangle when only the lengths of the three sides are given. Click no to abandon. The length of the side opposite point 1, we'll use 100 feet. Length of the side opposite point 2, let's use 141.41. Length of the side opposite point 3, we'll use 100 again. Now it says enter the azimuth from point 1 to point 2. Let's assume that the movement from point 1 to point 2 is at 200 and is at 240 degrees. That is azimuth, it is. So calculate. Angle 1 is 45 degrees, 17 seconds. 2 is 89, 59, 27, 45, 0, 17. So we click home to return. This says you need to run calculate after you return home. So we run calculate. We'll have to wait till it can calculate. That's the bearings, the angles in the printout or the screen. There, that's finished. So we'll click plot. So there's our triangle. From point 1, 2 to point 2 is 60 degrees west. (100 feet), and then we go north 29 degrees for 100 feet, 30 degrees. And then point 3, it's goes back to 1. It's 79 degrees southeast. Calculated the area, it's 5,000 feet. Total east-west distance 136.59 feet. Total north-south distance 86.61. Let's go back and try this again. Let's put from point 1 to 2 is we'll just use 270 degrees. Calculate. Calculate. We wait for it. Click plot. Now we see this is a different triangle. From 1 to 3 was 270 degrees. That's due west. The error is still 5,000. We see that we have a push button, we'll call it, or a button called Notes. So we click on Notes, and we have up comes a text editor, and you have options of type of script, and whether it could be bold or italic or underline and so forth. Type in. Now that stays permanently until you erase it. We click and we'll go back to the main screen. Well, that's about all there is in this particular video. I hope you appreciate my effort. I enjoy doing this type thing. Thank you.